Do we feel like Andor Season 2 will embrace more of the world and include more fun creatures? What's something silly you want to appear? For me, it's Nyx from Atlas thinking about. Ooh, Nyx is a great character. Nyx is wonderful. Yeah, I started reading that question and thought it was going to go in a different direction. I was going to deal with the real world. I think it's very much going to be dealing with the real world. But as far as the Star Wars world, fun creatures, characters, yeah, I for some reason I'm expecting a little more, just because this second season seems to be pushing towards the Star Wars we're very familiar with, New Hope, leading into Rogue One, all that stuff. So I would imagine that you would almost by necessity, you'd have to have a Radis or an Akbar or someone around you. I'm not expecting those characters, but I wouldn't mind seeing someone like that.
I have got high hopes for Ori, Marco, and Drizillian content because they are one of the the action figure that I know is Prune Face. Later Ori Marco, and since they are associated with the rebellion, and the publishing side has had lots of great stories about that group's commitment to rebellion, I would love to see some of them. Yeah, I was watching some clips. I think it just fell down a YouTube rabbit hole and was watching some clips of Narkina 5 and great Kino Loy. And for me, I almost hope that they include like a Rhodian prison. That I want it to be like the reason there's nothing else there is that prison is horrible on many levels and also racist from the Empire. And that I would love to almost explore it as the Empire is, keeping the humans separate from the other species that they are looking down on.
Yeah, because it seems to say flippant to say there's canon about that, but just early on there was that's kind of what Palpatine was about. That was even some of the Thrawn stuff that's in the modern Thrawn, but even going back in the day on the 90s Thrawn of I was not what Palpatine wanted. I was an alien species here in his empire, but he couldn't ignore me. So yeah, would make sense.
Yeah, Jennifer, you are a big creature fan. What are your creature hopes for Andor Season 2?
When I think about the creatures in Andor or the aliens, I'm like, oh, there were some, and they were used right. It's not going to be Book of Boba Fett, which was like the best of the best for me. So yeah, they kind of it's always surprising when they show up or incorporated. So I'm curious to see. I just want, again, here's a behind the scenes thing. I just want to see Tony Gilroy having to interact with it or having to call it by the species name, because he's like, that Greedo, they're like Rhodian. Yeah, that. I just want to see those kind of behind the scenes moments.
I do want him. Yeah. People say the name is Ori Marco. Please do not use the action figure name. It is actually deeply offensive.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd love that. And David Mackay says, Andor Season 2, got to show how Cassian met Bistan, the space monkey. And then he says Bistan like you say it, Jen, and then the universe cheers.
Bistan. There's a name I have not heard.
Yeah, remember the golden ages of just celebrating a character named Bistan?